All right, hello everyone who is watching. My name is Andrew Wilcox, and today I will be taking you through my chosen vocation of event planning and event management. What really sparked my interest in this field is through internships and other experiences that I've gotten outside of the classroom, whether that be at Destination Dayton, Warren County Sports Park. I've had a handful of experiences with marketing, sales, and ultimately wrapping that all together, decided that event planning is what I was drawn to the most. That's kind of what I'm going to be discussing in this video of kind of some of the vocational themes, common good, occupational outlook, the current issues, and the ethics of event planning / management. So going into some of the vocational themes, ideas and skills here at UD, I would say that creativity is the skill that one, I've gained at UD the most, and two is what I want to use the most in my profession, which is what led me to event planning. As the event planning intern for Warren County Sports Park this year, one of my favorite tasks that I had was I had a set budget, I had a set date of when I needed to plan the event, and I was able to essentially use the creativity I had within my budget to outline everything from start to finish of that event and lay that framework down. Kind of a lot of attention to detail, time management, problem solving, and ultimately it was all on me to create this. So I think just through those experiences that I've had, I've learned that that's the main skill I want to use. And through coursework at UD, I've felt drawn to doing that. Just to name a few coursework examples, sport ethics this year kind of gave me a new lens on how to be a leader. Sport law kind of gave me a new perspective on how I need to be legally insured by myself. And then practicum, where I actually got to get real experience in a field, which was, of course, very beneficial to kind of get an idea of how these skills are applied outside of learning them in a classroom. Serving the common good in event planning. A lot of these events, just recently for the company I'm going to be working for, they brought in $6.5 million to the Warren County economy in just 3 days. So that's, I think, already a huge responsibility to have through common good. Think of all the people that are bringing in money to businesses. We have donations going in because of those events. Sponsorships are getting spread throughout our events, which are leading people to other businesses, which ultimately supports the local vendors of where we're bringing our events to, which ultimately we can design the event around the community that we're working in. We can design the events so they benefit charities, raise awareness, or just simply like most of the tournaments, sporting tournaments in our area, raise awareness for the key sponsors, and the local community as a whole. You look at events taking place at Voice of America Park, there's advertisements for all the local businesses in that area, which is a great way for them to get exposure. And people who wouldn't ordinarily go out to those places are going to be driving that revenue, which is a great way to do good for our community. Occupational outlook. So employment is going to be up about 5% from the next 10 years. That was according to the BLS. Median salary is just under $60,000, with the top earners earning closer to just over 6 figures. And then starting salary could be, according to the BLS, just under $40,000. So there's the range. Median could be about 60. The educational pathways for that being sport management, hospitality management, business administration. Of course, those are my degrees: sport management, business administration. So intersects well with what I want to do. Most of the applications I've looked at through Handshake, LinkedIn, etc., throughout this semester have all have been in line with what I found in my vocational research project. So I think what the coursework I've done at UD, And the degrees I'm going to have are going to line up well for what jobs I want, ultimately. Current issues and challenges in the industry. I know a big one when I was researching this, I have it written down in my notes, was eco-friendly. You think of a event with 300, let's say a sporting event with 300 teams, that's largely going to be all local too, like we were just discussing, meaning there's acts such as zero waste practices, recycling, and carbon production someone could do. That's a current challenge because the amount of waste that it creates. And then also another key point that I wrote down was technology and AI, with not necessarily in sports, but outside of sports and other event planning areas, live streaming, engaging apps, and also hybrid and virtual events. I personally see taking off based on my research. So just knowing how to use that technology can be beneficial. And of course, for those virtual and hybrid events, you won't necessarily need as much staff as you would for an in-person event, which also, upon research, there's 60% of planners face staffing shortages. So if the event planning industry is going up, trending towards doing more online and hybrid events, and then most staffers are facing employment issues, I likely only see that hybrid event planning space going up, just because of those two factors. And then lastly, going to the code of ethics, I talked a little bit about MPIA, principles of professionalism. I like to touch on clear communication and honoring contracts. I think for so many of these, especially sport organizers I worked for, so many of the people that they have come back to their tournaments are legacy vendors, meaning, and a lot of them are interconnected too. So making sure you honor those contracts so you don't make one vendor mad and they don't come back the rest of the year, and then they have their own ecosystem between each other. Then they end up telling someone else that you screwed them over. I just think that being loyal to the contracts you write are a critical aspect of upholding your integrity and I guess your image as an event planner. So simply just doing the right thing is going to make you have a lot more of a reputable reputation in the community and among vendors. And lastly, I would summarize why this vocation fits me is because, going back to what I talked about at the beginning of this video, creativity is the skill I want to use. In event planning, I'm essentially picking a location and building a city there for a few days. I love kind of the logistics side of it, something a little bit touched on in the coursework in business administration. I find what I learned in there to be able to be tapped upon on the creativity side. I've more so learned in sport management. And through internships and experiences that I've found, this is very much the skill I want to use. And I see it being a pathway that's pretty easy to hop on and use really all sorts of different skills: sales, fundraising, marketing. So it encompasses so many different skills that it was really a no-brainer for me on why I wanted to do it. This is why my vocation allows me to do what I love and also benefit others.